As the month of June comes to an end, I invite you to take out a journal, a piece of paper, an app on your phone, just anywhere to write down some short reflections. Today's journaling session will comprise of 4 specific parts. First, we'll go over moments of gratitude, a short reflection, learning from experiences, and finally, an overview of the month. Feel free to skip to any of these parts if you find that something does or does not serve you, and we'll go ahead and get started. Gratitude. Remember, it is not happiness what brings us gratitude, but it is gratitude that brings us happiness. So our first prompt today is to ask yourself, what are 3 things you are grateful for? And of course, as you've probably heard several times before, this doesn't have to be something that's large or something that had a tremendous impact on your life. But with gratitude, we can remember 3 distinct stages. First is recognizing what we're grateful for. Second is to truly acknowledge it. And then lastly is to bring a sense of appreciation to it. So whatever 3 things that you decide to write down or you decide to notice, being cognizant of these 3 components of gratitude can help bring a sense of mindfulness. Feel free to pause here before we move on to the second section. Reflection. Reflection is one of the most underused yet powerful tools for success. In this next section, it's important for you to be honest with yourself. No one is going to see this, and this is really for your eyes only. And so be honest regarding your experiences, your behaviors, how you reacted. And our first prompt here will be to highlight 5 key areas that are meaningful to you, and to write these down in 5 different sections, and leave some space in between as we'll be adding on information to each one. These meaningful areas of your life can include a variety of different things, such as relationships, work or school, financial stability, personal growth, physical health, mental health, whatever it might be. Go ahead and write these 5 areas down. After identifying these key areas of your life, ask yourself, what is one thing you did to nourish this aspect of your life? And if you find that you can't recall something that you did to nourish this aspect or this part, be intentional in writing down honestly that you feel like you did not for this month. And if you continue to do these monthly journaling sessions regularly, it gives you an opportunity to see your growth, which leads into the next prompt, which is, what is one thing that you would like to incorporate more of? So if you find that you're lacking in one area of your life that is still very meaningful to you, is there anything that you could do to really highlight that area in your life? Experience. Experience is the teacher of all things. For this next part, bring forth one moment that stood out to you this month. It can be positive, negative, confusing. It doesn't even have to be that big. Just something that you recall in your memory that happened in the month of June. And reflect upon how this experience impacted you. And after it impacted you and after you understood it and internalized it in a certain way, how did you react? Again, this is applicable to all sorts of experiences that you might have, whether it's traumatic, happy, sad, whatever emotions that came with it, or whatever emotions that you're feeling now as you recall the situation. Just keep that in mind. And also feel free to write that down as well. Overview. The greatest weapon against stress is the ability to choose one thought over another. Now, if you could sum up June in one word or sentiment, what word would that be? Keeping in mind that the reflection you've already done for this past month is still there for you to look back on, but this word or sentiment that you choose is just going to give you an overview, if you ever decide to look back on June, how it was encapsulated in your mind and at the time, whether it's negative, positive, whatever sentiment that you are attaching to it or whatever word or notion. Just to recognize this without any judgment, but to give you some closure and a fresh start if you need to, as you open a new chapter into the month of July. Thank you for joining me today, and I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe.